50% of the CBSE math paper is competency based. Welcome to Pro Competency Series Part 4. Most students ignore this and lose marks because of it. Let's begin with today's set of problems, starting from linear equations. So here we have two linear equations. Let's call it as equation 1 and 2. So first, our objective is to prove that x minus y is equal to 1 without actually finding x and y. So what we do here? Here we subtract the two equations. We do equation 1 minus equation 2. Once we do that, we will be getting 0.001x minus 0.001y, which will be equal to 0.001. Now what do we do? To simplify this further, we will divide throughout by 0.001. That would give us x minus y is equal to 1. So our first part is done. Moving on to second part, here we have to find the values of x and y. So what do? We add both equations. That is, we will do equation 1 plus equation number 2. So on doing so, we will be getting 1.999x plus 1.999y will be equal to 5.997. So here the common factor would be 1.999. So let's divide throughout by 1.999. We will be getting x plus y is equal to 3. Now what do? We have got two equations which are simplified versions. Now we will solve them by any suitable method, either by elimination or substitution. And on solving these two equations, let's call them as maybe 3 and 4. On solving these two equations, we will be getting the values of x as, let's say, 2 and the value of y as 1. So moving on to the next problem. The next problem, we have Ananya has red, blue and yellow marbles in the ratio 4:5:3. She gave all her red marbles and some of the blue marbles to Neha. The ratio of number of blue marbles and the yellow marbles left with Ananya was 7:9. If Ananya has given 20 marbles to Neha, how many red marbles are there? So this is what we need to find out. So let's look at from Ananya's point of view, what is the initial number of marbles? So initially we have red, which is 4x, and then we have a blue, which is 5x, and then we have a yellow, which is 3x. So she gives away all the red marbles and some of the blue marbles, and she is left with what is left with her? She is left with the blue and the yellow marbles. What is she left with? She is left with blue marbles of 7y and the yellow marbles of 9y. That is the ratio given here in the question. Now, one point here for us to observe here is that she has given all the red marbles and some of the blue marbles to Neha. So all the red marbles would represent 4x and some of the blue marbles would be the difference between the initial and the final, which is 5x minus 7y. These marbles should add up to 20, as clearly given here. Ananya gave 20 marbles to Neha. Now if we solve this, we will be getting 9x minus 7y is equal to 20. This is the first aspect. The second aspect, the important aspect here is that the number of yellow marbles do not change because Ananya hasn't given any of her yellow marbles here. So the number of yellow marbles in the beginning and at the final should remain same. So that would imply that 3x is equal to 9y. Which we simplify further, we will be getting x is equal to 3y. Let's call this equation 2 and our initial equation as 1. Now let's substitute equation 2 in equation number 1. 9, in the place of x we substitute 3y minus 7y is equal to 20. This would give us 27 minus 20, which is 20y is equal to 20. So which would give us the value of y as 1. If the value of y is 1, let's use our second equation that would give us the value of x as 3. So here in the question we are asked to find out the number of red marbles that are present there. So the number of red marbles was initially 4x. So totally the red marbles would be equal to 4 into x, which is 4 times 3, which is 12. Let's look at the third question. Is the pair of equations x is equal to p and y is equal to q consistent? So we need to justify with the proper reason here. So what is the meaning of consistent? Consistent equations are those which have a solution. So here the graph x is equal to p will be a line which is parallel to the y-axis. And likewise, y is equal to q will be a line which is parallel to x-axis. These two lines will intersect at p comma q. Hence, they are consistent. They will form intersecting pair of lines. So we can call them as consistent. If you want to become a pro, like this bro, do check out the Pro Competency Series, which is given in the description below. Until then, see you in the next video.